Hey everyone, this is Tyler here. It is Sunday. It's a nice day here in Estonia. Okay, I want to tell everyone a story about me. Some of you may know I spent some time in Slovakia, the small country in Central Europe, close to Poland. My opinion of Slovaks isn't the most positive. In general, I met some nice people, honestly, there, but in general, I don't care for the country, especially the people. The geography is amazing. And more specifically are the Slovak women. I don't particularly like, and I don't think that they're very good options for foreign guys especially. Unfortunately, in many of these smaller, tinier Eastern or Slavic countries, you see the same issues. And it's important people understand this because everyone is always so intrigued and so fascinated by these Eastern European women, but it's important to understand there's problems also. Not all of these countries, not all of these places have good quality women for foreign guys. I am not saying that they don't make good quality for their own domestic guys. I'm saying for foreign guys. And this is a common issue in these more isolated territories of Europe. And you see this in other countries also. So this is kind of my experiences. I was in Slovakia, and one of the first issues I noticed is that getting numbers is very difficult. People are very close, and they won't even say that you're foreign, that I'm not interested. What they'll do is just simply ignore you. They'll give you kind of a bogus story and then walk away or something. It's very rude, honestly. Rather than just say, look, you're foreign, I'm not interested, and that's that. This was a common issue. Now, the ones who do give you their numbers, it's something akin to what you see in Estonia. They often lie. They're not interested. This is a problem, of course, because we live in a non-straightforward culture nowadays, and this is a big issue. I thought was just more prevalent in America and Canada, but this issue is actually is spreading worldwide. This same exact problems you're finding everywhere, and this is a huge issue. People have to follow what they say. They have to give some honesty. This isn't about work. This isn't something real important, so people need to be honest about these things. That was the first issue I found. Second thing is that it's very dark, the nature of the women there. It's not very pleasant. If you go to Poland, that's north, the women there are much more pleasant. They have a lighter vibe to them, and they're just nicer to be around. They make you feel better. Slovakia as a country has a very dark feeling to it. If anyone knows the history, it was heavy persecution of Christians for a long time, and this persisted through the Soviet era. And in the same darkness you probably find today. Many of the norms that people and young people, especially women, find common for Westerners are bad elements. They're not wholesome, and so when a good foreign people with better standards meet them, they don't understand this isn't the same kind of person. And maybe due to it being a small country, there's not a lot of variation. They can't discern the difference. Now the other thing is, being a small country, there's not a large spectrum of personalities. It's the same issue as Baltic countries. It's a very narrow spectrum of women generally, so if you don't meet a certain persona as a foreign guy, it's pretty difficult, honestly, unless you have a lot of money. But if you have a lot of money as a guy, you can be anywhere and you'll be successful. The next thing as a foreign guy is the women don't care about you. And this is also the case now for Slovaks, domestic guys. What you'll find in Russia or Ukraine, even Belarus, is the women generally have more concern about their men. This is not the case in Slovakia, and it's definitely not the case for foreign guys. So as each year goes by, it's becoming a more Western model. Men are just a novelty, and this is definitely the case in Slovakia. The final issue is that Slovaks simply aren't interested in foreign men. Most of the ones that are interested will just simply leave the country and be gone. They'll reside somewhere else, and those people won't even ever live in Slovakia again. I had one experience in particular where I was on a train with someone, got to know this girl fairly well. She seemed exceptionally nice. I can't remember her name. And what happened was that when I arrived at my destination, got her contact information, I had exchanged correspondence for several hours with her on this train ride. I then followed up with her a few days later just to message her. I was in a city that wasn't far away from where she was. Her hometown was about 20 kilometers from where I was staying at that time. I was skiing, and she didn't follow up. She just ignored it. And I couldn't believe it, because I could understand if this were someone I had just had a few minutes of exchange with, but this was several hours, and at least to tell me, okay, like give me at least say something, just tell me she's not interested or something. Didn't even respond. And this was kind of like a realization of what Slovakia was about. Now, don't be fooled, especially as a foreign guy. Slovaks, just like in other countries, will say one thing. The women will say one thing, but they'll do something else. It's important to understand this. Actions mean everything. So my recommendation, if you're interested in Slovakia, look at Poland, look at Hungary. These are much better options, and you'll find generally more consistency. Give me your feedback below. Thank you.